I'm Nigel Hetherington, and I want to share with you something very, very simple and yet very powerful, and it's a way of removing, eliminating and getting rid of those unwanted negative emotions that we all seem to get in our lives from time to time. You know, like you, like me, like everyone, if you think about it, on the journey through life, there is going to be events, situations, times, places where something happens and the way we respond emotionally is not the way we want to feel. An unwanted negative emotion. Now, in today's world, perhaps, maybe, who knows, there's a lot of reasons for people feeling anxious, stressed, wound up, reasons to worry. There's loads of things going on, and especially now. So I think it's well worth it right now for you to learn a way where you can get rid of, eliminate those unwanted emotions quite rapidly and quickly. You see, you can't necessarily, quite so easily, change the situation as easily as you can change the way you respond to it emotionally. So for example, if you have an upcoming driving test and you're the sort of person that was getting anxious about that, you can't really change the driving test you want to do that, but what you can do is change the emotional response you're having to get rid of any anxiety. If, for example, you've got a visit coming up to the dentist and you're worried, oh no, and what you want to do is actually you've got to get the dentist, you don't want to worry. You can use EFT to destabilize, release, remove and then erase the worry component. That's the negative emotion that attaches itself. That's the worry. EFT was created by a man called Gary Craigie, who has quite wonderfully given this technology away freely on his website. You can download a really great, concise manual full of the whole process with case studies. He's absolutely excellent for doing that. Before I show you how to do this, there's a reality check involved. If, for example, you have an anxiety, you're worried about something, you're stressed, you're depressed, these are things about situations, events, perhaps in the past, perhaps in the future. EFT won't change the past, the future, but it will change how you respond to that event, whether it's upcoming, whether it's in the past. So for example, if someone's got a health issue or they're worried about losing their job, and they're genuinely worried about these things, using EFT, what you can do is get rid of the emotional component, but it won't necessarily change your reality or cure any issues. Now, before I show you how to do this, you're going to need an issue to work on. When I do this with clients, what I do is I have them vocalize what their issue is, but just one word, and we tap through it. And I'll explain all this. I'll show you how to do this in a second. It's very, very simple and very easy. Now, here's the thing. If you haven't seen EFT before, it looks nuts, it looks crazy. You're really thinking, how could this possibly work? I don't want to go into an explanation of the theory and perhaps the reasons of why this works. Right now you can find all that out if you download Gary's excellent book and manual. What I do want to tell you is, give it a try, because until you have done, you won't know that this works really well. Additionally, if you're up for giving it a try, think about what you're going to gain from it. You're going to lose unwanted negative emotions, and that's got to be a good thing. You know, to get rid of a lot of worry, to get rid of anxiety, get rid of panic. And as well, I want to stress this is something you can learn yourself. It's brilliant. So, I'm going to imagine that I'm working with a client and just recreate the type of thing that I do. First and foremost, you want to know what the issue is. Let's take driving test anxiety. That's the words, driving test anxiety. And before you start doing any of the EFT, you need to rate this anxiety on a scale. 0 being nothing, no problem, 10 being as anxious as you possibly get. So you get a number, and this is so you can monitor the changes in the level of anxiety or whatever emotion you're choosing to work with. So as an example, driving test anxiety, and the client says it's at a 10. Okay, 10. So the first thing we do, even though I have this driving test anxiety, I'm alright, I'm okay. Even though I have this driving test anxiety, I'm alright, I'm okay. Even though I have this driving test anxiety, I'm all right, I'm okay. That's step one. Then you do this. Prepare to look at things that look weird and wonderful and work. Driving test anxiety. 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 That's a round of EFT. You then say, okay, has that level changed? Typically, it will reduce. Not by a massive amount, that's not guaranteed. Sometimes it can go down by a massive amount. In this case, it goes to a 7. From a 10 to a 7, a reduction. And here we go again. Even though I have some remaining anxiety about my driving test, I'm all right, I'm okay. Even though I have some remaining anxiety about the driving tests, I'm all right, I'm okay. Even though I have some remaining anxiety about the driving tests, I'm all right, I'm okay. And again, remaining anxiety, 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 remaining anxiety. Okay, it goes down from a 7 to a 4. And it's not so much the anxiety now, it's the thought of being in the car with the instructor. Even though the thought of the car, even though the thought of being in the car with the instructor, I'm all right, I'm okay. It's the thought of being in the car with the instructor, I'm all right, I'm okay. Thought of being in the car with the instructor, I'm all right, I'm okay. Car with the instructor. 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 And then again, any change from that form, it's down to a 1. I feel okay. I have a slight worry about the test. And what's it down to, a 1? Yeah. Okay. Even though I have a slight worry about the test, I'm all right, I'm okay. Even though I have a slight worry about the test, I'm all right, I'm okay. Even though I have a slight worry about the test, I'm all right, I'm okay. Slight worry about the test. 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 And then you check. Has that 1 gone yet? So what I've shown you is a slightly different version of EFT that's in Gary Craigy's manual. There's some slight changes in it where we don't use all sorts of movement of the eyes. It very rarely seems necessary to go to that level when I work with people. However, if you want the full technique, get the manual from Gary Craigy. What I invite you to do is to learn this process and go through, make a list of the things that you've worried about, you've been anxious about, you've panicked about, and go through them in this manner. It's a profound, crazy looking process that works really well. As a follow-up session to this is, I'm very interested not so much in problems and their resolution, but more from moving away from a problem and getting towards a goal. So what I'll do in the next video is show you how to use EFT to go from the problem state, what you don't want, to get to where you do want, the solution or the outcome state. Please, please, please practice these techniques. They're brilliant, they're powerful, and they can work so well to remove anxiety, stresses, worries, all that sort of negative emotion. Think how good you're going to feel when you get rid of that. stuff you really don't want. Use EFT, practice the tools, practice, 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 and look over at Gary Craigy's website. Take care now.